and gentlemen, esteemed President June Flores, distinguished panel members Engineer Joel Cruz and Engineer Mark Tanjutco, and respected colleagues, fellow engineering managers, on behalf of the Research and Development Department, I, Mark Gilmore Arceo, along with my esteemed teammates Stephanie Torres and Shani Rose Urbano, extend our warmest greeting to each one of you. Today, we are honored to present our insights on the planning process within our iCircuit company. So, for our agenda, Stephanie Torres will present it.
So, last meeting, napahapayawan ng research and design team yung planning, which is part of our presentation. So, I know you already have an idea of what planning is. In this meeting, palalawakin pa namin yung idea nyo about what planning is, and planning has different management level, different types that will be discussed later, and also the process of planning. And we also made our own company, and we named it iCircuit, that will be introduced by my team. We made our own mission and vision, SWOT analysis, and Porter's forces for our company that will be discussed later. So next, let's start with a quote of Richard Cushing saying that, "Always plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark." So this quote emphasizes the importance of foresight and preparation in planning. So by referencing Noah building the ark before the rain, it suggests the value of being proactive and anticipating future challenges rather than reacting to them when they occur. Next. Let's dive to the nature of planning. First, a plan is the output of planning. It provides a methodical way of achieving desired results. So we make plan kasi we have a goal and we want that goal to be achieved, diba? So next, a plan serves as a useful guide. So a plan is not always perfect, but it helps us to keep on track on what we're doing and tell us what we're going to do next. Next is to minimize mistakes in decision making, planning is undertaken. We don't know what future is and there are a lot of unknown variables. So with planning, we are anticipating the future so we can lessen the mistakes when it comes to decision making. So we have an example here. Next. The management of an engineering firm was able to identify the need to hire additional 3 employees. The manager proceeded to invite applicants, screen them, and finally hired 3 of them. When the hiring expense report was analyzed, it involved more than the double amount spent by other firms in hiring the same number of people. So when an inquiry was made, it was found out that the manager committed some errors of judgment. For instance, he used an expensive advertising layout in a newspaper when a single message will do. The absence of a hiring plan contributed to the high cost of hiring. So understand this example and let us know what did you learn from this scenario by leaving your answer to the comment section. Thank you. Now, let's define planning. Next. First one, by Nickel and others, planning is the management function that involves anticipating future trends and determining the best strategies and tactics to achieve organizational objectives. The second one is from Aldag and Stearns. Planning is the selection and sequential ordering of tasks required to achieve an organizational goal. And lastly, from Cole and Hamilton, planning is deciding what will be done, who will do it, where and when how will it be done. So, and the standards to which it will be done. So in short, planning is the strategic management function that involves anticipating future trends and determining the best strategies and tactics to achieve organizational objectives. Next. What are the various management levels of planning? So there are 3 levels. First one is top management level, next is middle management level, and lastly the lower management level. So let's start with the first one, which is the top management level or strategic planning. Next. So strategic planning refers to the process of determining the major goals of the organization and the policies and strategies for obtaining and using resources to achieve those goals. So in strategic planning, the whole company is considered, specifically its current resources and its objectives. So the output of strategic planning is the strategic plan, which spells out that the decision about long-range goals and the course of action to achieve these goals. So strategic goals are like big targets that the company or organization sets for itself. For example, these goals are the important places on the map of the roadmap of success that the company want to reach, whether it's expanding to new markets, improving customer satisfaction, or becoming a leader in their industry. So strategic goals are the key destinations that the organization aim to reach for a long-term success. So strategic plan is a long-term plan. Next. Dito naman sa top management level, nandito yung CEO, President, Vice President, General Managers, and Division Heads. Next. Next one is intermediate planning. So intermediate planning refers to the process of determining the contributions that subunits can make with allocated resources. So the intermediate plan is designed to support the strategic plan. So intermediate planning is like mapping out the middle part of a journey. So imagine gumawa ka ng plan mo. You're on a road trip papunta doon sa specific place, which is your strategic plan. Then alamin mo kung saan ka mag-stop over, kakain, other, etc. bago ma-reach yung destination mo, which is the intermediate plan. So it's about breaking down the bigger goals into smaller and manageable steps to make the journey smoother and more achievable. So, next. The organization and types of planning undertaken here in intermediate management level, marketing manager, production manager, finance manager, personal manager, and department heads. Next. Last but not the least, operational planning. So it refers to the process of determining how specific tasks can be best accomplished on time with available resources. So in operational planning, it's like making detailed to-do lists for everyday tasks in a company. So just like for us students, we're making a to-do list, nakasulat dito kung anong subject, anong gagawin mo sa subject na, it's like activity ba yon, quiz, or assignment, ganyan. And nakasulat dito kung kailan yung deadline, ganyan. So, sa company naman, it's about figuring out the specific steps kung sinong gagawa ng isang task na to, kailan dapat matapos yung job na to. So, it's like planning the day-to-day activities to make sure that everything runs smoothly and helps the organization reach its bigger goals. Next. So, dito naman sa low management level, nandito yung unit manager, supervisors, foreman, superintendent, and team leader.
So, nandito na tayo sa the planning process. So, the planning process, there are 4 steps on planning. Before we start on the planning process, we would like to introduce our company, iCircuit Incorporated. You think we build. So, iCircuit Incorporated leads in customized PCB solutions using advanced 3D printing. With a global vision, we prioritize innovation and customer satisfaction. So, ano nga ba yung iCircuit? Isa siyang company na papadalan mo lang yung schematic mo, yung file, like yung Proteus, Multisim, papadala mo lang sa amin, tapos kami na yung magpo-produce ng actual PCB using advanced 3D printing na ipiprint na yung PCB along with its components. So, bakit ba kami nag-introduce ng company? Para yung ating planning strategies or the planning process magkaroon ng application in context with our company. So, for the first step in the planning process, it is the setting organizational, divisional, or unit goals. So, for the first one is the vision statement. So, what is vision statement? It refers to the means or denotes the overachieving goal that the company wants to achieve in the future. So, it focuses on the future. Ano nga ba yung gustong maging ng company in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Just like in us, tatanungin tayo, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Ito yung nagpapamotivate sa atin. Ano nga ba yung pangarap natin in the future? Para naman sa aming iCircuit Incorporated, sa aming company, we should establish a clear and inspiring vision that outlines the company's long-term aspirations. Ito yung such as becoming a global leader in customized PCB solutions through innovative technologies. And for the mission statement, it refers to the means of achieving the goal. We must define the company's purpose. Sa amin naman, we focus on providing tailored electronic solutions. Kasi nga, you think, we build. And we ensure customer satisfaction and staying at the forefront of technology. It is focused on the how. Paano mo nga ba gagawin yung ba yung mga steps na gagawin mo para makarating ka dun sa iyong vision. In simple terms, just like in driving, vision is the destination. Yung mission naman, yun yung purpose mo, bakit ka pupunta doon. Ano yung gagawin mo para makarating ka sa destination na yun. The first step is, isipin mo muna, ano yung dadaanan mo. Meron ka bang enough gas? Kaya ba ng sasakyan mong makarating sa destination na gusto mo? Kaya nga meron tayong mission statement. Sa applying naman ito sa ating school, sa DAVSU, ang vision ng DAVSU is to produce globally competitive professionals. Asian level yung gusto ng DAVSU. So, what is its mission? It is to provide a conducive environment to produce globally competitive professionals. Meron kang vision, ano nga yung gagawin mo? Yun yung mission statement. The next one is SMART objectives. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So, specific naman, does the goal contain enough detail that you and your team will know when you've been successful, or is it vague and open to interpretation? Kailangan specific ka. Kasi, meron kang scope lang na gusto mong ma-reach. Malalaman mo ba in the future, na-reach mo na ba yung goal na to? Or, parang, di pa ata, di ako sure kung na-reach ko na ba yung goal. Kaya that's why we must be specific. Sa measurable naman, how can you measure not only goal completion, but also progress as you and your team complete the tasks associated with accomplishing the goal? Siyempre, meron ka dapat progress bar. Na may measure ba ito through numbers? Or meron mga bagay na, or factors na hindi natin ma-measure through numbers. It's like qualitatively. Meron kasi mga factors na we measure quantitatively. And we must take into account these both factors. It's either through numbers or through qualitatively. And the A, achievable. Do you have the resources to complete the goal? Kasi, pag tayo nangangarap, kailangan nating isipin, kaya ba nating tuparin yung pangarap na yun? Do we have the means to do it? Kaya ko bang gawin ito? Hindi ba ako mahihirapan? Afford ko ba yung ganitong goal? Tapos naman sa relevant, realistic. Dito mahalaga tayo mga tao, para tayong delulu. We delusionize the things that hindi naman pala makatotohanan gusto nating mangyari. Does the goal align with overall organizational goals? Yung realistic, rin siya connected siya sa relevant. Connected ba siya dun sa company natin? Connected ba siya dun sa gusto ng ating company mangyari? Kasi nga, kung yung company natin is producing customized PCB, yung goal natin is makapag-produce ng new component. Hindi naman yun yung ating goal. So, it's not realistic within our company. And lastly, timely. When does the goal need to be complete? Are there milestones before the final completion date met that can be used to keep us on track? Kaya nga meron tayong tawag dito, calendar. Ayan, ginagamit natin yung calendar para malaman natin or maset natin ano yung mga goals na dapat natin ma-achieve throughout time before we can reach the final goal or our highest goal in the company. Kasi nga, lahat tayo meron tayong deadline. Hindi pwedeng bukas na lang. I think, pwede pa yan. Next time na lang. Ganon. Kailangan meron tayong deadline. Kasi kung wala tayong deadline, wala tayong matatapos. Kaya we must be always timely. And smart objectives is really useful because it can include revenue targets, market share growth, and customer satisfaction metrics. The next one is stakeholders alignment. We must ensure alignment of goals with key stakeholders, including customers, employees, and investors to create a shared sense of purpose and commitment. Siyempre, lahat ng involved through our company or sa iyong company must be aligned. We must be always happy on both sides. Sabi nga nila, we must be win-win every time. Kasi nga, ayon sa aming tagline, you think, we build. Ngayon, yung naisip mo, gagawin namin. Ngayon, you are satisfied because we made your innovation, your idea. On the both side, we did our part, and on your part, you were satisfied. So, we are aligned with our goals. Gusto mo mag-innovate, and we made your innovation into life. So, for the next step in the planning process, di pa pala. Meron pa palang example of setting organizational, divisional, or unit goals. So, yung pagsaset kasi ng goals, it is through a hierarchy. Mag-uumpisa muna yan sa organizational, which is the company. The next one is the division, yung branches ng company. And yung unit, yun yung nasa lower management level na diniscuss kanina ni Stephanie. So, in our example, the company wants to achieve a 20% increase in overall revenue within the next fiscal year, achieve a customer satisfaction rating of 90% or higher. So, in the example na lang sa division, sa sales and marketing division, ano nga ba yung gagawin nila para ma-achieve yung gustong mangyari ng company at the higher level, the top management level? So, they will increase market presence by expanding into new geographical regions. So, if there's a new region that was exposed to our company's products, syempre magkakaroon tayo ng new customers. And we will also attain a 15% growth in divisional sales revenue. So, sa mga unit naman, sa lower management level, ano ang gagawin nila? Yung mga nagpiprint, yung mga engineers natin. So, they will achieve a defect rate of less than 2% in the manufacturing process. And they will enhance the skills and expertise of team members through targeted training programs. Bakit nga ba ito mahalaga? Itong achieve defect rate. Meron kasi tayong quality control or quality assurance in a factory. If we achieve a defect rate of less than 2%, ito yung nag-e-ensure sa mga products natin na matibay sila. Na even before sila lumabas sa factory, quality tested na. And if we reach less than 2%, less loss. Mas konti yung mga nasisira nating PCB, nasasayang na materials. Tsaka, kaya ma-achieve natin yung 20% increase in overall revenue. Kasi nga, mas konti yung nasira and we produce more. And yun naman sa customer satisfaction rating. How will we achieve it? Kasi nga, di ba, we achieve a defect rate of less than 2%. So, most likely, yung mga products na ating nilalabas ay hindi na masisira or masisira within their lifespan but not within their operational lifespan. Kaya ma-achieve natin yung satisfaction rating ng customer kasi nga matibay yung ating product and reliable. So, for the next step in the planning process, Hindi pa pala, joke ulit. Joke lang ulit ha. Meron kami dito ang ginawang organizational chart for our iCircuit. So, Mark Gilmore Arceo, the CEO of the company. Dito naman, meron tayong Chief Operating Officer, si Stephanie Torres. Ang aming ginawang engineering manager is Christian Jewel Cruz kasi nga siya yung ating production manager or production engineer. Si Jeff, ginawa nating R&D. At si Mark Tanjutco naman, siya yung PCB designer. So, for our Chief Technical Officer, it is Shani Rose Urbano. Under sa kanya, si Lucky Carlos na Operations Manager, si Paul na Manufacturing Lead, si Willie Joe, Production Technician, si Gio, Quality Control, at si Jerome naman, Logistics Coordinator. Magaling kasi itong magbiyahe, agad dumuwi. Kaya, kung may hatid ka, nandyan agad yan. Tapos naman, sa ating maintenance department, it is headed by Jos Arban and Donarber. Meron tayong dalawang security guard to ensure our safety in the company. Our most reliable security guards, Gabriel Crisostomo. Bagay na bagay yung uniform, may future. Si Jabez Aison naman, security guard. Bago pa mangyari yung disaster, na-compute na ni Jabez. Gumamit siya ng quantum computer. Pinredict niya lahat yung pwedeng mangyari. Kaya hindi na mangyayari yun kasi na-predict na ni Jabez. Tapos naman sa ating janitor, si Ervin Jan Cabrera, ang ating Executive Vice President. Nag-downgrade lang siya ngayon kasi nga humble daw siya Kaya janitor muna. Magaling daw maglinis. Sa bahay siya lang mag-isa. Siya nagluluto, siya naglilinis, siya rin nagpapakain sa sarili niya. Kaya maasahan tong si Ervin Jan Cabrera. Sa ating mga tagahugas ng plato, si Crisel na lang, tsaka si Kate. Kasi ito laging nakikikain Kain lang ng kain, kaya sila muna yung maghuhugas ng plato. Si Ashley naman, ginawa nating janitress. Para pag naglilinis siya, makikita niya si Joshua sa CR, lagi kasi nagsi-CR. Para naman sa ating next step for the planning process, it is developing strategies or tactics to reach those goals. Paano nga ba natin marirealize yung ating mga goals? Paano ito magiging totoo? Paano ba natin ito gagawin? So, ito yung tinatawag nating mga strategies. So, for the first one is the market analysis. We must conduct a thorough analysis of the electronics industry, identifying trends, competitors, and potential growth areas for customized PCB solutions. Bakit ba tayo nagmo-market analysis? Kasi nga, kailangan natin malaman yung market share, market size, market segments. In general, market is the customer. Sila yung mga bibili sa'yo. Ngayon, kung hindi ka magmo-market analysis, hindi mo malalaman ano nga ba yung demand sa iyong products before even na gagawin mo yung company mo. Wala pa lang demand, idea lang siya, hindi ka nag-market analysis. So, nag-start ka ng company, wala kang customer. So, bankrupt. Walang bibili sa'yo kasi wala naman palang may gusto nito, ikaw lang nakaisip. Kaya kailangan nating malaman, especially sa market analysis, malalaman din natin dito yung competitors. Kung meron na bang mga existing company na gumagawa ng iyong idea. The next one is SWOT analysis. For the SWOT analysis, hindi ko siya masyadong bibigyan ng emphasize kasi mas madidiscuss siya later on with more details within our company with Shani Rose Urbano. So, we must leverage the SWOT analysis to identify the strategic advantage. Yun yung strength, weaknesses, yun yung W, opportunity, and threats. Bakit ba natin kailangan mahalaman yung SWOT analysis? Kasi nga, we must develop strategies that capitalize on strengths. Yun yung, saan tayo malakas? Ano yung ating expertise? Doon tayo dapat nagfo-focus and not on our weaknesses. Pero yung ating strategy, yung gagawin niya, nagpo-focus nga tayo sa ating strengths, it is also addressing our weaknesses. Nag-i-improve tayo para yung mga weaknesses natin maging strengths. And nababawasan natin yung mga threats, yung mga pagkakamali natin. Kaya nga meron tayong SWOT analysis. The next one is product innovation. We must prioritize ongoing research and development to stay ahead. Ito, masyado itong mahalaga in our times, this time now. Kung papansinin natin, within the last 20th century, from 1900s to 2000, we saw a lot of development in terms of technology. Sobrang bilis nung transition sa iba-ibang technology today. Kaya meron mga companies na we can learn on na hindi sila nag-innovate, hindi sila nag-take risk. We can say, for example, Nokia and BlackBerry. These are the major companies before. Makikita natin sila yung may keypad. Before kasi may keypad yung mga phone eh. Yung BlackBerry and Nokia, they are the top one. They are the top on the market. Kaso lumabas yung mga touchscreens. Hindi sila nag-innovate. But they innovated, naiiwan na sila. Na-late sila. Kasi when you innovate, you will be the first one to have that product. Kaso last na silang nagkaroon ng ganung product. Hindi sila nag-take risk kasi akala nila they are okay. So, we must always innovate for the future. Because innovation, as engineers, we are engineers, right? Of course, kailangan nating magawa yung mga bagay-bagay na efficient, better, cheaper, and while doing this, we will also expose the technology to the mass market. And the next one is customer segmentation. We must develop targeted marketing strategies and product offerings for different customer segments. Dito sa next slide, makikita natin yung customer segmentation. We must have a specific product for a specific country. Kasi nga, geographics, meron yung iba-ibang culture. Demographics, iba-ibang age. Meron tayong PCB kits for kids, for high school, and college levels. Kasi nga, iba-iba yung ating intellectual capacity at different age. Kaya meron tayong different product range for different age. Ngayon naman, for psychographics, ito masyadong hindi ito masyadong matatakal for our company, iCircuit Incorporated, kasi this is more on the mental side. And behavioral, not also, but we will focus on the geographics and demographics. Kasi nga, especially sa geographics pala, there are different laws in different countries. We must comply to each of the law in the different countries, especially the environmental, what do you call this? Environmental impact laws. Environmental laws. Yung ating pag-produce kasi ng PCB, we use chemicals. Is it environmental for the country? Based on their laws. And sa demographics naman, ito nga yung sa product range of different age. And the third step, hindi pa pala, joke ulit. Last na lang sa ating developing strategies. It is strategic partnerships. We must explore collaborations. Sa atin na lang, as students, or when we will work in the industry, we must always collaborate with others. Kasi nga, meron mga bagay na wala ka, meron sila. Meron naman mga bagay na meron ka, pero wala din sila. So, we must always work with other people to become better. Sa strategic partnership naman, if we explore collaborations with other companies in the electronics and manufacturing sectors, we will have a enhanced technological capabilities. Kasi nga, meron tayong manufacturing process na tayo lang yung meron, kasi nga, tayo yung customize, send mo lang yung file. Sa mga ibang company naman, meron silang much better, much advanced na manufacturing for specific needs. So, we can learn from them and they can learn from us. And while doing this, we will expand market reach. Kasi nga, we will discover new customers of their company. And we will foster innovation. We will make everything cheaper and better because we collaborated with other people. Sabi nga nila, don't compete with the smartest people. Work with them. Kasi nga, if you work with them, you're gonna be smarter too. So for the third step of the planning process, it is determining resources needed. So resources, ang meaning ng resources, ano yung kailangan, ano yung mga materials, ano nga ba yung need mong i-attain para magawa mo yung iyong gustong gawin. So unang-una, budgeting. Bakit ba tayo nagba-budget? Kasi nga pera yan eh. Pera is very important in doing company's business. Kasi nga, yung pera umiikot dapat. Hindi pwedeng lagi tayong nalulugi. We must use our budget to make more money out of it. Not spend it without making any returns. So, we must develop a detailed budget that allocates resources efficiently to support research and development, marketing, production, and other critical areas. So, if you are not specific ano yung mga budget na kailangan mo, there will be times na mag-overspend ka na hindi mo na napapansin kasi you are not budgeting. Like with kung ikaw, isa kang lavish spender, yung bili ka lang ng bili, di mo tinitingnan yung price. Di mo pala nalalaman, wala ka ng pera. So, we must always budget. Spend wisely, sabi nga nila. For the next thing, technology investment. So, nag-budget ka nga. Dito naman papasok yung sa budget mo. Mag-allocate ka ng funds for the continuous enhancement of PCB 3D printing technology. Kasi nga, this is the research and development. The times are changing. The only constant thing in nature is change. Lahat ay nagbabago. So, we must always stay ahead of what is new. Kailangan natin maging, what do you call this? Updated or latest. Kasi nga, pag hindi ka latest or updated, maiiwan ka. You're in the past. And if we invest in technology for the future technology, we are in the future and not in the present. We are ahead of the competition. And the last one for the determining resources needed, dito yung talent acquisition. As I mentioned a while ago, we must work with smart people to become smart or better. So we must identify the need for skilled engineers, designers, and technical experts. Ito yung mga galing na sa industry. Yung mga merong experience, sila yung mga kukunin natin para maging advanced tayo, much on the edge of the competition. So, we will implement recruitment strategies to attract top talent. Example na lang nito is Texas Instruments. Last year, nag-join kami ng competition with Jabez Aison and Richard Manalad. Nasa UP na siya ngayon. Yung research competition na yon, ang goal niya is to attract top talent. Kasi nga, yung mga top student, sila yung mga magjo-join sa research competition na yun. Tapos yung mga nag-handle sa amin, ano sila talent acquisition manager. So, now na yung mga nakalaban namin before, graduating students, ngayon, nagtatrabaho na sila sa Texas Instruments. Kasi nga, nakita ng Texas Instrument, sila yung may potential. Sila yung mga top talent. So, hinar nila on the spot. Kasi nga, sila yung magagaling. That's why we must identify the need. Kung ano ba yung kailangan natin. And also, while doing this, can we afford these top talent engineers, designers, and technical experts? Kasi nga, meron tayong budgeting. Afford ba ng company na magtrabaho siya dito with this demand of yung mataas na sweldo? Gusto ko, ganito yung sweldo ko yearly. Like, 3 million. Afford ba ng company yearly? Sweldohin natin siya ng 3 million. So, we must take into account different factors before even doing this thing. And the last step in the planning process, it is setting standards. Ang unang-una ay quality assurance. So, you must be the standard. Ikaw yung matibay, ikaw yung maganda yung product, reliable. Kaya dapat meron tayong quality assurance in our producing and manufacturing. So we must establish a rigorous quality standards for the manufacturing process to ensure each customized circuit board meets or exceed industry benchmark. Ano nga ba yung benchmark? Sa mga computer, meron tayong mga benchmark programs. Iraran mo to, gagawin niya yung iba't ibang tasks, papagawa niya ito sa computer, at in the end, isuscore niya yung computer mo, ano yung score niya, and it will compare it to the other computers. Kaya nga meron tayong quality assurance. Is our product meeting the standard or exceeding? Kung masabi natin, yung product natin, mas matibay ito dun sa kalaban naming company. Kaya nga meron tayong quality assurance. Mas matibay yung pagkagawa natin, yung manufacturing process natin, at yung defect rate. Kasi nga kanina na-mention ko, we must achieve a defect rate of less than 2%. And before we end for my report, this part, I would like to also add, sa vision naman, yung vision, kanina, hindi ko na-mention, nag-expire yan. Just like in life, when we reach something that we are gusto natin makamit someday, ganito. Ang tanong, after that, what's next? Ano nga ba yung gusto mong mangyari? Like in company, kasi nga tinatanong lang where do you see yourself in 10 years? Natapos na yung 10 years. Tatanungin ka na naman, where do you see yourself again in 10 years? So, mag-iisip ka na naman ng next goal mo. Kasi if you will stop on doing goals or making goals in your life or in your company, you will not progress. You will be stuck on where you are. Kasi nga, we must always be striving for more. We deserve better as we go in time. For the setting standards, yung next naman is customer service standard. Ano nga ba yung customer service? It is the after sales. So, after mo bumili ng product sa isang company, siyempre, nasa inyo yung product, merong tong warranty tsaka customer service. So, meron yung hotline. Kung yung company mo, yung after sales niya, hindi maganda, wari ako, as a customer, bumili ako ng isang product. Ngayon, nasira yung product na yun within the warranty policy. Hindi siya pasok sa warranty. Tapos, tumatawag ako sa customer service. Walang sumasagot sa akin. So, anong mafe-feel ko? Siyempre, magagalit ako. Bumili ako sa inyo, hindi nyo man ako tutulungan on how can I fix this product. Even I am willing to pay kasi beyond na siya sa warranty policy. Hindi siya na siya pasok. Pero gusto kong pagawa yung product ko kasi sayang. Kaso yung customer service, pangit. So, we must always define standards for customer service excellence, including response times. Kung ating mapapansin, when we are frustrated, yung ating patients, sobrang late lang. Pag tumatawag tayo sa isang tao, tapos meron tayong problem, our patient is so small, gusto natin sagutin niya agad kasi kailangan ko na agad Kaya, kailangan din, as a customer, pag nasiraan ka, gusto mo tatawag ka agad sino yung makakatulong sa'yo. Siyempre, yun yung nag-manufacture ng product na yun. And, yung issue resolution processes. Yung process ng paggawa. And, siyempre, importante dyan yung communication. Sabi nga nila, in relationship, communication is the key. And if we are not communicating with our customers effectively, magkakaroon tayo ng misunderstandings. So, kung mayroon tayong good customer service, our customers is happy, and we are also happy to serve our customers. And lastly, for the setting standards, and second to the last, ethical and sustainable practices. Ano nga ba yung ethical and sustainable? Ito yung mga factor na pumapasok dito yung significance ng environmental responsibility. Businesses bear the responsibility of addressing critical challenges such as climate change, resource depletion, and pollution. Through sustainable practices, companies can curtail their environmental footprint and contribute to the mitigation of these global threats. For example na lang, Apple company, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, AirPods. As of now, sila yung parang nakikita kong company na nagpo-push through for the environmental responsibility. Kung makikita natin yung mga products nila, nakasulat doon, 50% recycled aluminum, 50% less carbon footprint. Yung ginawa nila ngayon sa mga iPhone, tinanggal nila yung charger sa box. Kasi nga, masyado ng maraming charger na existing before. Pero pwede naman siya sa mga phone nila ngayon. Kaya tinanggal nila yung charger. And while doing this, lumit yung box ng iPhone. So, less carbon footprint. Next naman is social impact. How will you impact the society with your products? For our secret naman, our social impact is we innovate your ideas. We make it into reality. And meron naman good governance. Are we ethical and transparent in our doing business? Kaya we must always ethical and sustainable kasi our customer also considers this when they are buying into your company. They will consider what are your practices. Is it ethical and sustainable? And for last, performance metrics. Ano nga ba yung performance metrics? This is the way how we can measure that are we progressing or are we losing or going back to where we started. Kasi we must develop key performance indicators to assess ano nga ba yung progress natin toward dun sa organizational goals. Kaya nga yung mission and vision, importante, we must always memorize it. Kasi if you are not aware, ano nga ba yung organizational goal ng yung organization, di mo malalaman ano yung dapat mong gawin para ma-reach nyo yun. Kasi if we are all aware ano yung dapat natin gawin, we will know ano yung mako-contribute mo sa organization to do this part, to do your part na mas ma-achieve natin yung goal na yon. And we must monitor and analyze these metrics to inform strategic advancement and improvements. Kasi minsan nagkakamali tayo, there are always room for mistakes. So what will we do is by having a key performance indicators, we will know what we will adjust to offset what was lacking before. So for the next one, types of plans, our teammate will explain this.
So, may tatlong types of plans. First is functional area plan. Next is plan with a time horizon and plan according to frequency of use. So, let's start with functional area plan. Next. So, functional area plans, kadalasan naka-include dito yung information sa resource allocation, budgeting, timelines, tsaka key performance indicators. So, nabanggit ni Angie yung key performance indicators kanina. So, yung key performance indicators or KPI, para siyang scorecard sa mga business or teams. So, for example, sa sales. So, yung KPI doon, pwedeng kung gaano karaming yung napoproduce na pera ng isang team each month. So, other examples sa customer service naman, yung KPI dito, pwedeng kung gaano ka-satisfy yung customer dun sa service or product na nare-receive nila. So, ang main purpose ng functional area plan is para mag-provide ng clear direction and guidance for specific department within an organization. So, essentially, nakakatulong siya sa isang department na makakontribute dun sa mission and vision ng company. So, under functional area plan, merong marketing plan, production plan, financial, and human resource plan. So, let's start with marketing plan. Marketing plan is the written document or blueprint in implementing and controlling the organization's marketing activities related to particular marketing strategy. So, marketing plan, para siyang roadmap na nag-explain kung paano i-carry out ng company tsaka ma-manage ng company yung kanyang marketing activities para sa isang strategy. So, para siyang written guide na nakakatulong sa organization para ma-navigate yung kanyang path na ma-achieve yung kanyang marketing goals. So, next is production plan. This is a written document that states the quantity of an output a company must produce in broad terms and by product family. So, sa production plan, sinasabi niya dito kung gaano karaming product yung dapat i-produce pa ng company, giving a general idea about the quantity of each product category. Nakakatulong to sa company para ma-manage at organize nito yung kanyang manufacturing activities. Next, let's dive to the contents of marketing plan. So, ayon kay William Cohen, nandito dapat yung following must be included in the marketing plan. So, first is executive summary overall. So, ito yung brief overview ng entire marketing plan. Sinasummarize dito yung main points tsaka objectives. Next is table of contents. Nandito yung mga sections and subsections na nakapaloob sa marketing plan para mas madali sa readers na ma-navigate yung paper. Next is situational analysis and target market. So, dito sa section na to, naka-analyze dito yung current market conditions, naka-include dito yung trends, competitions, and opportunities. Dinedefine din dito yung target market ng company or yung specific group of customers na pinagpapakusan ng isang company. Next is marketing objectives and goals. So, dapat yung mga objectives dito should be SMART. Specific, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So, nakapaloob dito yung mga clear and measurable objectives. Next is marketing strategies. So, strategies are the broad approaches or plans na dinevise para ma-achieve yung marketing objectives. So, sa section na ito, naka-outline yung overarching methods or tactics na i-employ ng company para ma-reach yung kanyang target market and para ma-fulfill yung objectives ng company na sinet niya sa sarili niya. Next is marketing tactics. So, tactics are the specific actions or steps that will be taken to implement the marketing strategies. So, naka-include dito yung details such as advertising campaigns, promotions, pricing strategies, and distribution channels. Second to the last, schedules and budgets. So, sa session na to, naka-layout yung timeline sa pag-i-implement ng marketing plan and allocate ng resources. Naka-include dito yung budget sa various marketing activities. And last, financial data and control. Dito, financial projections and metrics naka-include dito para matrack yung performance ng marketing plan. Pwedeng nandito yung monitoring sales revenue, return on investments or ROI, and other relevant financial indicators. Next. Alamin naman natin yung contents ng production plan. First, the amount of capacity the company must have. So, we're figuring out kung gaano dapat yung i-produce na stuff ng company. Next is how many employees are required. We're deciding how many team members are needed. Next is how many materials must be purchased. We're determining the materials we needed for the production. So in short, it's about planning the amount, the team, the materials for smooth and successful production. Next. So the third one in functional area plan is the financial plan. So financial plan is a document that summarizes the current financial situation of the firm, analyzes financial needs, and recommends a direction for financial activities. So, financial plan, para siya, report card or ng company na pinapakita dito kung gaano karaming pera yung meron pa yung company, sinasabi dito kung ano yung kailangan niya, tsaka nagsasuggest siya kung paano dapat i-handle yung finances niya. So, it's a helpful guide for making smart money decisions. Lastly, human resource management plan. So, it indicates the human resource needed of a company, detailed in terms of quantity and quality, and based on the requirements of the company's strategic plan. So, dito naman sa Human Resource Management Plan, is a guide that shows how many people and what kind of people a company needs. Tumitingin siya sa skills and numbers required ay naka-align dun sa company objectives. So, para siyang guide para makabuo ng right team yung company. Dumako naman tayo sa contents ng financial plan. Next. So, the first one is an analysis of the firm's current financial condition as indicated by an analysis of the most recent statements. So, naka-involve dito yung pag-assess sa company's current financial health based sa recent financial statements. Naka-include dito yung balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow statements. So, dito sa step na to, we are checking how the company is doing right now financially. Next is sales forecast. So, sa sales forecast, we're predicting of how much product we will sell sa future based sa market analysis, historical sales data, and possible changes sa demand. Next is capital budget. Naka-outline dito yung company's plan para sa pag-i-invest sa long-term assets such as machinery, equipment, or facilities. So we're planning to make big purchases that will align the company's strategic objectives. Next is cash budget. A cash budget projects the company's expected cash inflows and outflows over a specific period of time, pwede monthly or quarterly basis. We're keeping track of cash coming in and going out in the company para ma-ensure natin na yung company has enough liquidity to cover expenses and meet financial obligations. And number 5, a set of pro forma or projected financial statements. So these projected financial statements that estimate future financial performance based on assumptions and forecasts. And lastly, external financing plan. So naka-outline dito yung strategy ng company na maka-obtain ng external financing. Pwedeng sa loans, equity investments, or other forms of capital. So naka-include dito yung amount of financing needed, sources of funding, terms of financing, and plans for repayment. So this plan ensures na yung company meron siyang sufficient capital to support its growth and objectives and operations. So in short, a financial plan is like a money roadmap to check current finances, predict sales, plan big purchases, manage cash flows, make future financial predictions, and prepare for extra funding if needed. Next, let's dive to the contents of Human Resource Plan. So first one is personal requirement of the company. We're deciding how many people we need based dun sa company's objectives. Next is, naka-include dito yung roles, responsibilities, and skills na required sa kada position. Next is, plans for the recruitment and selection. So, dito naman, we're planning how to find and choose the right people na naka-align dun sa objective ng company and syempre dun sa position na ina-offer ng company. Third one is training plan. We're figuring out how to teach and improve the skills of the people we choose. So, naka-include dito yung training needs, designing training programs, scheduling sessions, tsaka evaluating training effectiveness. And lastly, retirement plan. Syempre, may plano ka dapat sa mga employee mo na retiring na, lalo na kung matagal na silang nagsisilbi doon sa company mo. For example, may benefits silang makukuha after retiring. So, in summary, a human resource plan is about figuring out how many people we need, finding the right ones, training them, and planning for retirements. Next, let's dive to the next type of plan.
So moving on to the play with the time horizon of planning na sa pagko-consider on how things might change over short and long times to make a smart decision. So yung una dito is yung short range plan, which are plans na intended lang to cover less than a year and usually nagpo-focus on immediate goals and action na kailangan na ma-accomplish soon. Yung pangalawa naman is yung long-range plans, which are plans naman na nagpo-focus on achieving broader objectives and pag-implement ng mga strategic initiatives that usually takes time to develop or i-execute. Next. for the plans according to frequency of use naman, ito yung usually ginagamit natin na way or method to categorize plans based kung gaano kadalas sila gamitin. So meron siyang two types. Yung una is yung standing plans, which is like a set of instructions that are used again and again to deal with things na madalas nangyayari. So, for example, nito is yung una, policies, which is a broad guidelines for decision making and behavior naman to be applied consistently over time. Yung example naman nito is yung no ID, no entry policy ng DOVSU, which helps para ma-ensure yung company security by easily identifying yung mga individuals and para na din ma-restrict yung access para lang sa mga authorized personnels. Second is yung procedure. Ito yung step-by-step guide na fina-follow natin to do something. For example, pag nag-apply tayo sa government IDs, university admissions, and pag-handle ng mga other administrative matters, usually ginagawa natin to para makita natin or ma-ensure na lahat ng mga necessary information ay na-meet na natin para yung masatisfy yung mga required criteria and makapag-comply tayo with the established guidelines. Yung third naman is yung rules. So in planning, rules are used as guidelines para ma-define yung mga boundaries and constraints for plans. Ginagawa na din to para ma-ensure that the plan is realistic, achievable, and aligned sa goals natin. Next. Para sa next type of plans according to frequency of use, ito ay yung single-use plans. So, single-use plans from the root word itself na single-use, usually dinidiscard na sila after the project kasi this is only designed para may address yung isang specific topic or specific problem, situation, or yung goal. So, yung una is yung budget. So, budget is defined as a plan for money coming in and going out. Usually, this is only made for specific time, like a year, and usually regard na siya or discard or change pagka nasatisfy na or natapos na yung project. Second is yung program. So, yung program naman, once the goal or objective ng program is reached, it is considered complete na. So, panibagong plan naman, if ever may bagong goal or panibagong plan or goals na kailangang ma-meet. And lastly, for the project, once the project katulad ng program, its plan is no longer needed for ongoing use. Next. So, parts of the strategic plan. Nabanggit na ni Step kanina yung strategic planning, which is a roadmap for an organization's long-term goals and how to reach them. So, meron siyang tatlong parts. Yung company or corporate mission, which is the organization's long-term purpose, objectives, which are broader and more general, while goals naman, specific and measurable. And the third is strategies, which is yung approaches or plans na ginagamit natin or ng organization to achieve its objective and goals. Ngayon na napag-usapan na natin yung mga types of plans, let's dive into the elements naman na nag-contribute to effective planning. So, alam naman there's always a room for failure or mistakes, which is why making planning effective is very crucial. So, next. To ensure yung success ng plan natin, it is essential to recognize yung mga planning barriers and utilize yung aids to overcome them. So this is important because planning helps the organization to anticipate yung mga challenges, pati na din yung threats, take informed decisions, and achieve their goals efficiently. So here we have a list of planning barriers that can affect the effectiveness of the planning. So yung una dito is yung manager's inability to plan. Since yung responsible for providing directions and settings para sa mga team nila to plan effectively can lead to confusion, inefficiency, and lack of direction within the team or yung department mismo nila. Next is yung improper planning process, which create barriers naman by causing confusion then that may lead to inefficiency and missed deadlines. Pwede din siya mag-result ng lower quality outcomes, reduce accountability, and hinder innovation and adaptation. Third is yung lack of planning process. Of course, if hindi mo seryoso or you're only doing it for the sake of having an output, para lang may mapasa ka, hindi mo siya may expect to succeed. Tapos yung the fourth one is the improper information, which creates a planning barrier by leading to decision based on inaccurate or incomplete data. This can result then in misguided strategies, wasted resources, and syempre, ineffective planning. As for the focusing on the present, the expense of the future, it can lead to short-term thinking and neglect of long-term goals and strategies. This approach may result in missed opportunities, lack of preparedness for future challenges, and inability na din to achieve sustainable success. For the number 6, over-reliance on the planning department, syempre we can expect them to know all the insights and expertise of other departments. So this can only lead to plans na pwedeng ma-overlook yung mga important factors and maging less effective yung plan overall. And lastly, concentrating only on the controllable variable. Syempre, pag binaliwala natin yung mga external factors, this can only leave plans to be vulnerable sa mga future unforeseen obstacles ultimately affect yung effectiveness ng planning. So, before we move on sa next part ng aming report, it was mentioned earlier na we should utilize ACE to enhance the effectiveness of our planning. So actually, isa dito is yung analysis. So if I'm not mistaken, narinig or familiar na kayo sa word na SWOT, di ba? Nagamit na natin siya sa TLE or sa subject na entrepreneurship nung high school. So para ma-refresh kayo sa topic na to, SWOT analysis. Analysis is a strategic planning tool na ginagamit to identify the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats na related sa project or businesses. So ayan, it has two factors, which is yung internal and external factor. Under sa internal is yung strength and weaknesses, which are factors na typically na kokontrol ng company. While the external has opportunities and na unlike sa internal, hindi kontrolado ng company yung mga factors na nakapaloob dito. So to understand yung concept further, I will define each of the SWOT and i-connect ko siya sa self-made company of our group, which is the I circuit. So next. So strength is defined as the positive internal attributes or resources na advantage namin from other companies. This can include skilled employees, strong brand reputation, or advanced technology. As for our company iCircuit, our strengths are, una is yung advanced PCB 3D printing technology, which gives us a competitive edge in the market or the industry. Second is yung customization expertise, which highlights our ability to meet yung specific customer requirements and i-showcase yung mga expertise namin in customizations. Next. For the rapid prototyping naman, which exhibits our capability to deliver fast prototyping services, which is valuable advantage siya for our clients na need ng mga quick iterations and testing para sa mga lab. And last, for our strength, experienced design team. So that feature nito yung experience ng aming design team, which ensures the highest quality and functionality of the customized circuit boards. So moving on naman to the weaknesses. Ito usually yung mga disadvantages or yung bagay na naglilimit sa performance or success ng company. This can include like lack of resources, outdated technology, or poor management practices. So as for our company iCircuits, our weaknesses includes for initial setup cost, because the high initial setup cost of advanced technology in PCB 3D printing can limit yung market access para sa mga smaller businesses or hobbies. As for the market education naman, this is a weakness because the newness of PCB 3D printing requires extensive market education to inform potential customers about its advantage and capabilities, which can lead to slower adoption rates. So ngayon na-discuss na natin yung internal factors ng SWOT, let's move on to the external factors. Una dito is yung opportunities, which only means na ito yung mga factors that can give benefits to our businesses or company. This can include market trends, competitor businesses, or new technologies. So as for our company iCircuits, our opportunities are consist of, first is yung diverse market application, since there is a diverse market for PCB 3D printing in industries like aerospace, medical devices, automotive, and consumer electronics. Marami kaming opportunities for business expansions. And as for the partnership and collaboration naman, opportunity siya because partnering with companies in electronics and manufacturing, innovation, and growth that will benefit both parties. So for the last part of SWOT analysis, which is yung threat, okay, or simply the external factor or areas na pwede mag-cause ng na hindi kontrolado ng company and usually need paghandaan. So in iCircuit, our threats are competitive landscape, which that highlights the competitive nature of the electronic industry, na ini-indicate na our company iCircuit can face challenges from rival companies, which just means kailangan namin maging innovative and offer unique solutions to avoid the loss of market share or decrease yung profitability. And for the technological advance, this is a threat kasi it could make current manufacturing techniques outdated, potentially reducing relevance of PCB 3D printing. Yan. So ngayon na na-discuss na natin lahat or na-present ko na yung lahat ng SWOT analysis, let's move on to the last topic or agenda of our presentation, which is the Porter's analysis. So Porter's analysis, this is a crucial framework for businesses to assess and understand the competitive dynamic within the industry. It also helps to understand yung attractiveness and profitability of an industry by examining its 5 key forces, which is yung threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power, threat of substitutes, and competitive rivalry. So for the first one, threat of new entrants, which is yung likelihood of new competitors to enter the industry that can decrease profitability for existing players. So in our case, iCircuit only faces a moderate threat for new entrants kasi sa pagpasok sa mga customized PCB solution market, it requires a high technological cost and specialized electronic expertise to compete. And dahil na din sa current technological advancement now and market position ng iCircuit, this only makes it more challenging for the new companies para mag-compete sa company namin. Next, for the bargaining power of suppliers or the power of suppliers to dictate yung terms which can affect cost and profitability. This is also related sa mga issues tulad ng pag-adjust nila ng prices or pag-delay ng deliveries, especially kung na yung company, parang the company relies heavily on them, or if there are few alternative suppliers na pwede nilang pagkuhanan ng materials. So, but since iCircuit ay merong good reputation and relationships, the bargaining power of suppliers is only moderate. However, when it comes to fluctuations in materials prices and supply chains disruption, which is hindi natin maiiwasan, ay pwede siya mag-lead to higher costs and delays impacting iCircuit's ability to deliver products on time and at a competitive price. So next is the bargaining power of buyers. This is the power of the customers to negotiate prices and terms, which can impact profitability. So, in our company, we face a high level of bargaining power from buyers due to the wide availability ng customized PCB solutions worldwide, not only in the Philippines but also worldwide. Dahil nga naman maraming provider companies that also offers customized PCB solutions, buyers have more options na pumili, which is usually tinitingnan na din nila based sa price and terms. So this gives them the ability to negotiate and puts pressure on the companies like our company iCircuit to offer a competitive pricing and quality to attract and retain customers. So for the threat of substitutes, this is the availability of the alternative products or services that can fulfill the same need, which can limit pricing power. So the iCircuit or our company faces a moderate threat of substitute because although may mga alternative technologies and methods for PCB manufacturing, iCircuit specializes in customized solution and advanced 3D printing technology, which give us the competitive edge. However, to continue mitigating this threat, we must focus on ongoing innovation and staying ahead sa technological advancement compared to other companies. Lastly is the competitive rivalry. This is the intensity of competition among existing firms in the industry, which can affect pricing, cost, and profitability. So, in iCircuit, we face high competitive rivalry dahil yung market for customized PCB solution is no longer rare and somewhat common na siya not only here in the Philippines but so, thanks to the dahil na din yun sa continuous technological advancement. So, many companies both establish new offer may companies na may mga established na companies na new and some companies din na nag-offer ng similar products and services. So to stand out, nabanggit dito na the iCircuit needs to maintain high quality and offer excellent customer service to stay ahead of the competition. So, ayan, that concludes Porter's analysis. Next, we have listed the references na complete this presentation. So, is there anything else you would like to add, Mr. MJ Arceo or Ms. Stephanie Torres?
I would like to add something before closing. I hope you learned from us. We presented a lot of topics on different levels in terms of top management level, middle management level, and lower management level. As for us, we can see I'm already a CEO at 20 years old. Shani Rose Urbano is our CTO, and Stephanie Torres is our COO. As students, I hope you learn from us a lot because someday we will be also a employee. As employees, we presented the different levels on how we can plan effectively in terms of if we are on the top management level, in the middle management level, or on the lower management level, or the unit level. Kasi nga, we presented you on how to plan effectively throughout any problem or any scenario. Pag tayo nagtatrabaho na, I hope yung mga naturo namin today, you can use it on the application on your day-to-day life as an employee or an engineer. So thank you for listening. Is there something you would like to add, COO Stephanie Torres?
Thank you, MG. So, I would like to add something. So, na-discuss namin yung planning and last meeting na-discuss ng research and design team yung leadership. So, I would like to connect these two. So, when it comes to planning, hindi lang yung leader yung nagpa-plan and also dapat kasama yung members doon, di ba? So, kapag once na nag-fail yung plan, hindi lang yung leader yung sasalo ng mga consequences or lahat ng kasalanan dun sa or lahat ng sisi doon sa ano nangyaring plan na yon. Dapat hindi sisisihin ng members yung leader dahil nag-fail yung plan. Dapat kapag if ever man na magpe-fail yung plan nyo, lahat tayo is responsible, kaya hindi lang dapat yung leader yung mananagot. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening. I hope we have a good day and we are happy on the learnings today. So thank you. See you next week. Bye bye.